Hello guys, I hope you all are doing good. I'm Vaishali Kikan and we are discussing the EMFT. Today in this video, we are going to talk about the electric quadrupole. Then we are going to talk about the potential of the electric quadrupole as well. So I hope you all have watched the previous video where we talked about the electric dipole, and you remember what is the electric dipole. It is a system where we have two equal and opposite charges which are separated by a small distance. Now a lot of people don't know what is this electric quadrupole. This is a new concept for a lot of people. So let's understand in detail what is electric quadrupole. Right, so I can make the higher order dipoles as well. If I have two equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance, this is a first order dipole, right? Or we can call it as multipole as well. So if I have a single charge at a single point, then I will be calling it as the zero order multipole. Right? If I have a dipole, the two equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance, I will be calling it as first order multipole. Now quadrupole is the second order multipole. Right? We can make the multipoles which are having the greater order as well. We can make the third order multipole, we can make the fourth order multipole, we can make the nth order multipole as well. Now the electric quadrupole will be having two dipoles of equal and opposite moment separated with small distance, right? So here you can see this is my first dipole plus q minus q, which is having the moment plus p, right? Then here I will be having the next dipole. It will be having the moment minus p, and for having the moment minus p I must have the different direction. Now the direction is different, and for that I have to reverse the position of the charges. So here I will be having minus q and here I will be having plus q. Now the distance between these two dipoles is very small, which is represented by delta L dash. Right? So this is the one kind of quadrupole that we have. Then we have axial quadrupoles as well. Right? Here at the center I can put a charge which is having 2q value, right? Now at a small distance I can put minus q, and at the small distance I can put the minus q. So these two can be treated as a dipole, minus q, q, and q minus q can be represented as a separate dipoles, and both are having the opposite moment, right? So this is how I can represent the electric quadrupole. I hope you understood basically what is a quadrupole. Now we are going to talk in detail about it, right? First of all, we are going to talk about the moment of quadrupole. We know what is the moment of the dipole, right? So now the outer product of either dipole moment vector and the displacement vector is going to give me the moment of quadrupole. So the moment of each of the dipole was p, and the distance between the two dipoles was delta L dash. So the moment of the quadrupole can be represented as p into delta L dash, right? So I can represent it as p alpha beta of the order 2, because this quadrupole is the multipole of the order 2. So we have represented 2 over here. So we can represent it as 2 into p alpha, right? 2 into p alpha. This is the moment of the order 1. If I take the moment of the first order dipole, I can easily find out the moment of the first order dipole, right? So I can take p alpha 1 and I can multiply it with delta x dash beta, and this is how I can find out the moment of the quadrupole, right? So if I take p alpha 1 as the dipole moment component for the first order dipole. So now delta x beta, the distance between the two dipoles, is 0 if I talk about a dipole. The dipole is not having any other dipole in nearby vicinity to it, so delta x beta would be 0 for dipole. Now we know the moment of a dipole is finite, it is not infinite, or it is not even 0. So what I do, I take p alpha tending to infinity. So when infinity is multiplied with the 0, I will be getting the finite product. So P alpha, it's tending to infinity and delta x beta is tending to 0. So this is how, if I product both of them, if I have the multiplication of both of them, I am going to get the finite product. Now coming to the potential. You can remember the formula: potential at the point P due to the dipole moment minus P. For the dipole moment minus P, I can find out potential V1. It is given as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P dot delta dash 1 upon R, right? So this is the potential formula, right? For a dipole, we have calculated it. I hope you remember how we calculated the potential of the dipole. Now the potential of the another dipole which is there in the vicinity of the first dipole, I can represent it as V2, and V2 will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P delta 1 upon R plus delta dash 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P delta dash 1 upon R into delta L dash. So now what is the total potential? Potential is a scalar quantity. So if I need to find out the total potential due to the quadrupole, so I will be adding the potential due to the first dipole to the potential of the second dipole. So this potential is represented as minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, because this is minus P, right? So I will be having the minus sign over here and I have the plus sign over here. So this component and this component is going to cancel out. So net potential due to the quadrupole will be having only this component, right? Only this component would be present, right? So it can be represented as del dash 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P del dash 1 upon R into delta L dash. So the net potential of the quadrupole will not be containing this term, right? So now I can simplify this term, and I know the curl of the gradient of 1 by R is 0. I also know the curl of 1 by R is 0. The del dash square of 1 by R is also 0. So when I use this formula and I simplified the last equation, the equation for the potential of the quadrupole, I get the potential of the quadrupole to be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P dot del dash into del dash by 1 by R dot delta L dash. So we can represent this in the differential form, in the component form as well. So psi can be represented as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P alpha del by del x alpha del by del x beta 1 by R delta x beta, right? So this is how in the component form we can represent it. So now from this equation here, we all know what is the quadrupole dipole moment. With the quadrupole dipole moment here, using this formula, I can find out the final potential. So final potential will be equal to 1 upon 2, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P alpha beta del square by del x dash alpha multiply del x dash beta of 1 by R. So this is how I can find out the total quadrupole moment. So I have skipped some of the calculations in between. You can also remember like this, or you can try to solve it in a complete manner and you can find out the final results like this. So this is how you have to verify the results. So I hope you understood each and everything, and you will be doing the computations. You will be finding out the final results with the help of the various del operators and the product and multiplication and various identities using it. So if you have any doubt after solving it, you can put the doubt in the comment and I will be trying to resolve your doubt as soon as possible. I hope you like this session. If you like it, please push the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and also give me your feedback. Thank you so much.